A very good morning to all of you. I am Sonam Dubey, Assistant Professor in SIRT Bhopal. Now, today I have introduced the new concept of CSS. The CSS basically stands for Cascading Style Sheet. Now, in this session, we have to introduce the various topics like what is CSS, why we use CSS, CSS for scanning your website, and structure. Inside the structure, we have seen CSS syntax introduction, three places CSS, and CSS syntax specifics, and cascading inheritance, then applied CSS hands-on, where we can use a CSS. Now, what is CSS? CSS basically stands for Cascading Style Sheet. It is the language for describing the preparation of web pages, including colors, layout, font, and just it making our website and web pages presentable to the users. Now, the CSS is designed to make style sheets for the web. It is independent of HTML. We can also write the CSS code without the HTML code, and it can be used with any XML based. XML basically stands for extensible markup language, that XML based markup language. Now, here the basic meaning CSS, the cascading stand for falling off styles, and the style is nothing but adding designs and styling our HTML pages, and the sheet is writing our styles in different documents. Before we introduce the CSS, we can just see when the CSS come in use. In 1994, first proposed by Hakon VM Lai on 10th October, and in 1996, the CSS was published on 17th November, and the later the co-author of CSS become in use. Now, the 1996 CSS became official with CSS was published in December, and after that in 1997 and 1998 published on 20th May. CSS basically uses various types of editor like Atom, Visual Studio Code, Brackets, Espresso, Notepad++, Komodo Edit, and Sublime Text. Now, so this is the basic syntax of CSS. In the syntax of CSS, we can see there is a two parts, that is the separator and the declaration. In the separator, content form. The context is the text and images markup to define regions of a specific type, and the second form defines the styles of the content. Now, in the CSS syntax, we can see here the font size equals to 14px, my text header. Inside the my first header, we can write the font and font size like 12px, 13px, and the color that is red, and the face is Verdana. And inside it, my information one goes here, and the font tag is closed. Then we again start the font size equals to 14px, my second header, and the font tag is closed. And then the font size equals to 12px, color red, and face Verdana. Different information goes here. Now, in basically the CSS syntax, the selector select the elements what do you want to target, and always remains the same whether we apply the internal and external styling. The CSS basically of three types, that is internal, external, and inline CSS. There are few basic selectors like tags, ID, and classes. All form this key volume player, and various keys also used in the inside the CSS like properties like color, font size, background, width, and height, and the values associated with these properties. Now, why we use CSS? CSS basically play the different kinds of role inside the text. Like it basically provide the Atom and Visual Studio Code, different kinds of brackets, Notepad++, Komodo and Sublime Text. By using these code, we can easily use and we easily make our website so attractive. That's why we are using the CSS. Now, why does this separation get us? The separate content from form specify the styles once for every instances of that classes. For example, specify the font once for all text on the HTML page that you have identified as a header. That means if we want to add multiple headers and multiple font size and different borders, we can easily add up. And the next one, the style sheet can be separated file which all HTML pages on your entire site can link to, and only have to specify the styles once for your entire sites. And the third one is can change the styles for your entire sites by editing only one file. That means we can easily add up and easily remove the different types of styles. And CSS, there are three ways to write CSS in our HTML file, like inline CS, internal CS and external CS. On the priority order, we can just first use the inline CSS, then internal, and at the last we can use the external CS. In the first one, inline CS, before CSS, this was the only way to apply the styles. Not an efficient way to write as it has a lot of redundancy. That means it is self-contained. That means it uniquely applied on each of element. In the HTML code, the idea of separation of concern was lost. For example, suppose we have to use this CSS inside the style, like open tag style color red, have a great day, then close the headings. And again we can use the style like color green and some contents like I did this and I did that, and then then close the paragraph. And the next one is internal CSS. Internal CSS is nothing but with the help of this style tag we can apply styles with the HTML file. And by using internal CS, we can also remove the redundancy, but the idea of separation of concern is still lost, uniquely applied on a single document. For example, suppose we have opened the style tag and then is open the H1, and inside the heading tag we just display the color equals to red, then close the bracket and then close the style tag. And at the last, external CSS. In external CSS, with the help of link tag, in the head tag we can apply styles, references added, file saved with .css extension, redundancy is removed, and the idea of separation of concern is maintained and uniquely applied to each document with the help of external CSS. Generally, all three of them is used, but most of them we are using the internal CSS because this is very easily and user friendly. That's why we are using the internal CSS. Now CSS scanning. Scanning means the changing of log of page of your site. That means selecting an appearance by choosing which style sheet to use, like link rel equals to style sheet type text CSS and RH reference, and here the href stand for references and the link rel means link reference relation. Now we selected this tag and change the color property and change different types of tags. Now whatever is written in this tag, we have the text color as tag. Check out for we can easily check out this one in HTML code. Now different types of selector, comments, colors, background color, borders, box model we can easily add up and remove inside the HTML code.